So, from my standpoint of coaching 16s and 18s, part of what I do is I try to connect my players with, different junior hockey opportunities. And then it's up to that program and the player to really figure out what is going to be the best place for them to play. What I always take for granted is the fact that a lot of these kids, they've never had these conversations before, or the families haven't had these conversations before. So then they'll come back and ask me, well, what do we've got this call, we got this Zoom call set up. What should we ask them? Like, how do we approach this whole situation? And because the last thing you want to do is take a conversation with a coach or scouts or whoever's going to be on that call and just be really quiet because you're afraid to ask questions. You're not
Right.
really sure what to do because obviously that program might think maybe you're not interested or you're just not really into it or
Well,
whatever else and send
let's
the wrong
let,
message.
let's clarify that, Bloomer, because I think that's important. What you said there was, you got to talk. If you're going going into this as player and parent, isn't your opinion that the player should try to take the initiative as much as possible when it's appropriate, and that
Yeah.
the parents should take a second? There's nothing worse, in my opinion. There's nothing worse than a parent that goes, "Well, Johnny thinks this, and Johnny thinks that, and Johnny wants this, and Johnny needs this, and Johnny would like to ask you this," and Johnny's just sitting there, picking his nose and looking at the
Right.
ceiling.
Right.
There's nothing worse, in my opinion, than a parent that does that. I mean, there are parent questions that have to be answered by a parent or asked by a parent, but honestly, the lead, if you're on a Zoom call with a coach, player, parent, it should be a conversation mostly between the player and the coaching staff, unless the coaches go, "Hey, look, we want to focus this part of the conversation directly with the parents."